I'm going to try to do this update. It's going to be a quick one. My name is Yeli, and I am type 2 diabetic. I'm on Mounjaro. I've been on Mounjaro for 24 days now. It's doing wonders for my sugar. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is what happened when it was the time to fill my first prescription. And I hope you're not hearing too much of the rain in the background. I am just trying to make the best of carpooling. So, my doctor, I thought my doctor was gonna give me the medication for a trial they were doing, but the only thing she was giving me was a continuous glucose monitor, which is okay. So I found out that my insurance would cover it 100% if I went with their pharmacies that are in network with the health system that my insurance goes through. And it's just 4 pharmacies in the whole state, and they don't have it. So even though it would have been 0 copay, they did not have it. So I talked to the insurance that deals with the medication part of my benefits, and they also have their own pharmacy, but they're not one of the ones that are 0 copay, because apparently the insurance made some changes, whatever. So funny as it is, they are the company that provides the insurance, but if they supply it, they can't supply it. So it's not even authorized for them to supply it. So after, I think it was 5 calls, in a call to my doctor's office and 2 calls to pharmacies, and I find out that because first it wasn't going through and I didn't know why. It was because they won't approve it for 90 days. It has to be done each like 30 days at a time. The second bump in the road that I had was that they needed a pre-authorization from my doctor, because if it was going to go through their the pharmacies that I told you, I would have not needed it. But then even for the insurance provider's pharmacy, I needed that pre-authorization. And then the next bump on the road now is that it's not in stock in those pharmacies, even though it would have been 0 copay. And I am here a little bit concerned, right? Because, and I want to put it out there, for those of you that are taking Mounjaro for weight loss, no judgment from me at all. Because if this had come out 15 years later, before I was diagnosed with diabetes, but when I was being told that I was going to be diabetic if I continued eating this way, and I would have had the chance to get on that medicine and not become a diabetic, I would have jumped on it. So you're never going to hear any type of censoring or judgment from me. I want to make that clear. Anyway, due to the increased demand, now the 2.5 is apparently not easy to come by either, because what some people I think are doing is injecting 2 of the 2.5, or I don't know what, but it seems to be that. That's just my deduction, right? So anyway, because on the FDA website it's not listed as a hard to stock medicine, so apparently it's available, but it's not. Anyway, the pharmacy of the insurance company did have it, and they could send it by mail, but the girl had to talk to a supervisor to see if they could do like this exception and allow me to have the medicine. And I explained to her, and I said, listen, I'm diabetic. I really would love to have my medicine. So she went ahead and did all that for me. I love it. She was wonderful. So I've tried to film this video many times. Let me just finish up the thought and everything. So I was saying that the pharmacy that with my insurance does have it, but the provider that I have needed it to be with a different pharmacy. So it's a weird thing that they have. You would think that the pharmacy, the own insurance pharmacy would be okay, but it wasn't. And that's why my doctor sent it there in the first place. So because typically when you want a 90-day prescription, you have to ask and order it through them, and not any of the other pharmacies, and not even the in-network pharmacies that that provider has. So I told her, right, I explained to her, it's not in stock, and I'm diabetic, and I do, you know, need the medication. I would love to be able to get the medication. So she talked to a supervisor, and she kept me on hold for a little bit. She was wonderful, super nice, super attentive, very great customer service representative. I think I hit the jackpot with her. And she went to her supervisor, requested that the supervisor approve this, right? Just because it's an out of, like, a hard to stock item, and the restrictions that my plan had on it, like, those pharmacies didn't have it. So the supervisor said yes. However, there is a copay. And when she told me the copay, I was like, oh my God. Copay was $200. Guys, that is a ton of money. And even though I would think, well, hey, I'll do it this one time, I don't know if it's going to be just a one time. Do I know if next month I will still be able to find it? I don't know. I'm hoping so. Apparently, you know, there's been information about these issues being resolved, but there's no set time frame for that, right? So I know that Lily is working as hard as they can to get this going, but they don't have a time frame yet, or at least I haven't heard of one. So anyway, I remember that my doctor had given me that savings card, which if they had allowed the 3 months, then it would have been $25 for 3 months, but they were not allowing 3 months, and they just gave it to me for 1 month. But like $25 for 1 month, even though it is a hefty copay, because I just paid $10, right? For 3 months of some of my medicine, having $25 for just this, but hey, not complaining here. I'm just grateful that I found it. And if I have to just cut back on some other things, then I will, because this is my health, and it's doing wonders for my sugar, and I really want to continue using it. I don't want to go off of it until the shortages are resolved. I want to continue using it. So happy ending. Well, at least I think it's happy ending, because then I went back into the website to see what my order was, like the status, and it was like, it's on hold, it's being revised by a pharmacist, it's on hold. So I see that they canceled it again. Yeah. And I was like, what? But then I see there's a new one for 28 days, because it said a month, and a month of Mounjaro is really 28 days, not technically a month. So I'm hoping for it to ship tomorrow, and they said that they would do a priority shipping on it, like next day shipping on it. So they said I would get it on Saturday. I'm assuming that worst case scenario, it's going to be Monday, and Monday is my injection day. So, and even if I would have to wait a day, I can live with that, right? I'm going to have it. So that's okay. I do want to know, like, when is the earliest that I can refill? So I need for this order to ship and finalize processing, because it's still in processing. So I don't know when I can request it again, but I have to be on top of that, so that the first day that I can request it, I can start this whole process again, to make sure that if the pharmacies that I need to order it through don't have it, we go back and do this again. But now I know what we need to do. I know the process. So yeah, at least there's knowledge in there for me. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because I know insurances have gotten like a little complicated with this medicine, And if my information helps you, then wonderful, right? Because sometimes you just have to be able to talk to insurance companies. They are not going to be the ones denying medication to you if there's something they can do. And of course, they'll come up with a hefty copay, but thankfully, up until the end of the year, we have the savings card. And you can just go on the Mounjaro website, and if you have insurance, you can qualify. You may qualify, right? Because like I don't work for Lilly, like I can't guarantee that you will qualify, but it says there that you may qualify, and you can pay as little as $25. And that as little was another thing, because I was like, okay, I'll give her the savings card. Who knows how much it's really going to take off, because I used the saving cards like that once, and I think it was for medicine that I needed to take for a colonoscopy, and it was worth nothing, basically. I still had the same $75 copay, which I thought was ridiculous, because that was kind of like what my insurance was telling me to pay, and then I used the savings card and it's still 75. So I don't know what the savings card did in that case, but in this case it worked, and I did end up paying just $25. So there we go. Just wanted to update you guys a little bit on that, and I am so sorry that I had to film this in so many stages, but I finally got this story out. There it is. I hope to see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe, follow, turn on the bell notifications and all that good stuff. Love seeing you back again in the channel, and it helps me to have you guys on the other side, and it really helps my accountability, and I hope that the information that I share with you guys helps you as well on your journey. Bye. Take care.